Hello, crypto fans, and we have some exciting news for you. Some good news for a change. As Cynthia Loomis, head of GAO, which is the Government Accountability Office, they actually find that SEC guidance is subject to congressional oversight. So the SEC violated the law, and I want them to pwn them. But most likely, what's going to happen is they're going to stop this. And what they're going to do is say the SEC has to go through Congress for many of the rules that it implements. So basically, the Government Accountability Office found that one of the staff accounting bulletins, 121, that was issued in March 2022, has been a source of pain for pro-crypto lawmakers because it is one of the really bad custody bulletins. That one is subject to the Government Accountability Office. And basically, the GAO said it is reasonable to believe that companies may change their behavior to comply with staff interpretations found in the bulletin. The bulletin is also of future effect and it was designed to interpret and prescribe policy. Accordingly, we conclude that the bulletin meets the definition rule under APA. And of course, Jake Chervinsky, a crypto lawyer, on his Twitter, has said this was actually indeed huge because it might actually slow the SEC down and not allow them to go willy-nilly on crypto policy. So the GAO reviewed SAB 121, and it may not only be this SAB, they might find other SABs that don't really comply with the law either. And an SAB 121 was an illogical anti-crypto accounting bulletin issued by the SEC last March and found that it's a rule under the CRA and the APA. The SEC did not comply with either. This is a clear statement from a federal agency that the SEC broke the law. I want them to pwn the SEC and then pwn Gary Gensler. But, of course, they're not going to do that. They're going to, however, I think, reel back the SEC from doing stuff like this in the future. SAB 121 basically required crypto custodians to double count digital asset liabilities on their balance sheets, which is obviously completely BS. It has done extraordinary damage to the crypto industry and cost untold millions in legal and consulting fees over the last 18 months. It was illegal from the start. The SEC should immediately withdraw SAB 121. If it does not, the GAO analysis makes a slam dunk out of a lawsuit against the SEC alleging a violation of the APA's notice and comment requirement. So they didn't go with the notice and comment, and the government was not really affected on this. Blockchain Assassin will be watching closely to see what the SEC decides to do next. So the thing is, I do think that this particular bulletin will actually be taken out. The damage has been done, but it will prevent it from doing more damage. And if you actually look on the GAO website, Securities and Exchange Commission applicability of the Congressional Review Act to Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121. On March 31st, 2022, the United States SEC issued Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121. The bulletin provides interpretive guidance regarding how covered entities should account for and disclose their custodial obligations to safeguard crypto assets held from their platform users. SEC did not submit a report pursuant to the Congressional Review Act to Congress or the Comptroller General on the bulletin, most likely because they knew that it would actually get rejected. But hopefully this is a black mark against Gary Gensler and they can get rid of him. However, that's probably not the case. CRO requires that before a rule can take effect, an agency must submit a report on the rule to both the House of Reps and the Senate, as well as the Comptroller General, and provides procedures for congressional review where Congress may disapprove of the rules. CRA adopts the definition of rule under the Administrative Procedure Act, but excludes certain categories of rules from coverage. However, it does not exclude this bulletin. We conclude the bulletin is a rule for purposes of CRA because it meets the APA definition of a rule with no exceptions apply. Therefore, the bulletin is subject to the requirement that it is be submitted to Congress. So basically, on the decision, on March 31st, 2022, the U.S. SEC issued Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121 and published on the Commission's website. SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, which is available on the SEC website. The bulletin became effective April 11th, 2022, and did untold amounts of damage to crypto companies, and was published in Federal Register on the same date. We received a congressional request for a decision regarding whether the bulletin is subject to the CRA. Letter from Senator Cynthia Loomis to Comptroller General. For the reasons described below, we conclude that the bulletin is a rule under CRA and thus subject to CRA submission requirement, which the SEC did not do. So the SEC basically disobeyed this law, and hopefully they can bring the SEC back in line, and the SEC will be forced to take down this bulletin, which is another yet embarrassing moment for the SEC. And I think this would put further scrutiny from Congress onto the SEC and Gary Gensler, and they will not be able to issue such bulletins in the future without the approval of Congress. Now, the thing is, since a lot of these pro-crypto people in Congress do review these acts, I think it's going to be harder for Gensler and co. to get some of these acts through. So at the very least, it will actually stop or slow down Gensler from pursuing these anti-crypto acts. Now, the thing is, I think Gary Gensler and thus the SEC realize that they're actually on a timeline. They realize they can't harass crypto forever because the alliance pro-crypto is actually growing. You have BlackRock, Fidelity, and all these other big investment firms that are going pro-crypto. You also have many senators, both Democratic and, well, many congressmen, both Democratic and Republican, that are going pro-crypto. And you basically just have Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, and maybe one or two people on the other side. So the alliance pro-crypto is growing. The anti-crypto army, as Elizabeth Warren calls it, is deteriorating or decreasing. And it was never really that big in the first place. I mean, she might have tricked a couple of people with her fake Hamas news. But the thing is, the crypto expert actually corrected her on that news. So the thing is, I do think Gary Gensler and the SEC realize that they're actually running out of time, and they're trying to pass these anti-crypto acts as fast as possible before they get shut down. Because like we've discussed before, there are liaisons even within the SEC. Hester Pierce and one other commissioner may not agree with all their decisions. And now the Government Accountability Office slapping them down, saying you have to submit these things to Congress or certain rules to Congress first and have us approve them, will definitely slow them down. So this, they might actually have to remove Accounting Bulletin number 121 and wait until it gets past Congress before maybe they get it again. And I don't think this one's going to get past Congress. And it might be the same for many of their other bulletins and many of their other rules. So this is a big, big setback for the SEC, and it could be really, really huge for crypto. It means they might not get as many hostile rules from the SEC and Gary Gensler as they would have otherwise. So I think this kind of handcuffs the SEC in this particular decision. Now, will the SEC, especially Gary Gensler, continue to harass crypto? Probably so, although they are pivoting to AI. But this kind of deteriorates their ability to actually do so. So it is very, very good for the crypto market overall. Floki and Bitget are actually accusing each other of manipulation. Floki, obviously, is everyone's favorite, one of the favorite meme coins. And of course, this is the one that famously went up because Elon Musk's nephew or something, I don't remember which relative of it was, actually tweeted about Floki and said he would name his dog Floki. So the coin obviously went up, 500% or 1,000% or something. Very good reason for a coin to go up because you named your dog that coin. Sure, whatever. So the teams for crypto exchange Bitget and Web3 protocol Floki blamed each other for allegedly misleading investors. So obviously there was manipulation going on. We don't know who it was, but they're blaming each other. Now, this is going to be a blow to the reputation of one or both. So the teams behind Floki protocol and Bitget crypto exchange have accused each other of market manipulation. This is from Cointelegraph. And of course, Floki claims that Bitget listed the token before it was launched, referring to Bitget as listing as a fake token, while Bitget claimed that Floki team was suspected market manipulation by maliciously controlling the initial liquidity. So essentially on Bitget, on their website, it says at 2300 October 27th, 2023 UTC +8, Bitget announced a listing of token in the innovation zone of the spot market. According to the rules of the innovation zone, a 60-day valuation period will be given for all newly listed pairs in the zone. After a trading service of TokenFi began, significant price fluctuations have been noticed. It was also found that the project team only added less than $2,000 in tokens to the liquidity pool. Obviously, if you only add less than 2,000 tokens to the liquidity pool, Yeah, like it's obviously not going to have enough tokens, and price is going to fluctuate wildly, and was suspected of market manipulation by maliciously controlling the initial liquidity. Of course, Floki can countered by saying like they didn't really release it, and you just try to release it ahead of time. In addition, during a further investigation of the project, more potential issues such as opaque token economy and unclear vesting schedule have been discovered. To be responsible for our users, after comprehensive consideration, Bitget has decided to delist TokenFi token and launch a buyback plan for users who hold the token on Bitget. The arrangements are here as follows. And of course, we don't really know who's telling the truth, who's lying. It definitely could be a little bit of fault from both sides or a big misunderstanding, but it doesn't look good for either Bitget or Floki, so I hope they can actually work it out. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.